Hello YouTube, Hardcore Nerdiness here, coming at you today with my updated Gravekeeper deck. I know I talked briefly about this in my trade binder video recently, but yeah, here's the deck. I updated it quite a bit, so hopefully this will be the deck I play this format. So first off, I'm just going to go over them section by section. First off, we got your Gravekeepers, and here they are. So first off, you got 3 Gravekeeper's Recruiter. Now, he's the searcher of the deck. When he's sent from the field to the graveyard, you get to search for a Gravekeeper with 1500 or less defense. Now you can search for Descendant, Recruiter, or Commandant with this effect, which becomes really useful. Generally what I do is I search for Recruiter first, and then another Recruiter, and then probably a Descendant, unless of course I don't have Necro out, in which case I do Commandant. Now second of all, you got your Gravekeeper Descendant, 3. You contribute Gravekeeper besides this card, and destroy 1 card on the field, which is really nice. It's massive destruction power, combos really hilarious with this guy, and yeah, also it's a level 4, which makes you rank 4s. Then you got your Gravekeeper Spy. It's a flip effect, 2000 defense, which is really nice. Special summon a Gravekeeper with 1500 or less attack points from your deck, which means you can get one of these 2 guys. Very, very helpful, obviously. I'm not even going to really go over that. By the way, this is a pretty reactive deck, so it's difficult to play test by yourself. But, yeah, DN is very helpful. Next up, you got just the 1 Gravekeeper's Commandant. The reason I only run 1 is because basically this entire deck just searches and searches and searches, so sooner or later you're going to get it. Recruiter can search it, it's not that difficult. And it can also be recycled with Gravekeeper Stealth, so yeah, 1's fine. Then you got 2 Gravekeeper's Visionary. It's a very underrated card. Yes, it can sometimes clog up the hand, but once you get it out, it pretty much stays there. And the only thing this guy does not do well against is Fiendish Chain and Dimensional Prison, which that's why you run Spellbook of Wisdom in here. I'll get to that later though. But basically he gets a lot of attack from his own effects, and he can cover his own ass. So yeah, really great card to have. He's special summonable with this guy, and also Magical Dimension, and Rite of Spirit, which is really funny. So yeah, that is the Gravekeeper portion of the deck. Moving on, we have our Prophecies. You got 2 Temperance, 2 Spellbook Magician, and 2 Reaper. Now, 2 Temperance, when you activate a Spellbook previously this turn, tribute it, spec either Reaper, Prophecy, or Gravekeeper's Visionary from your deck. If you have 5 Spellbooks in Grave, this guy becomes really good with Temperance. Basically, you would just play your final Spellbook, activate his effect, special summon him, his effect would go off, special summon Visionary, and you'd have 1 stacked field, my friend. But yeah, this guy just creates combos and makes summoning those 2 a little bit easier. Next up, you got your 2 Spellbook Magician of Prophecies. When he is, I believe it's normal summoned or flipped face up, funny combos can come out of that. Just search for a Spellbook from your deck. Now, what I like to do to confuse my opponent, make him play carefully, is play Necro Rally, then before I activate any of my spellbooks, set him, so that your opponent, if they know what they're facing, think it's probably going to be a spy, then they attack into it, and it's just the Spellbook Magician. And then you catch him off guard and can easily take advantage of that in this deck. So next up is or if you want to go for fast plays, you can just normal summon him. Next up's the 2 Reaper of Prophecies. He does a lot. He's really, really good late game, and pretty good early game too. So basically his effects depend on the number of spellbook spell cards with different names you have in your grave. If you have 3 or more, you gain 600 attack, putting him up to 26. If you have 4 or more, you get to search for a spellbook. This is all when he's summoned, by the way. If you have 4 or more in your grave, you get to search for a spellbook from your deck. If you have 5 or more, you get to do both of those things, and then special summon a level 5 or higher Dark Spellcaster from your deck, meaning Visionary. So yeah, once you get that out, it's really helpful. And there are different ways that you can more easily get these cards in your grave early on. So yeah, that's the prophecy engine I'm running. Moving on to the more generic monsters. All I really run for this is the 2 Summoner Monk. Very easy alchemic, very easy rank 4s in general. Just great card. Yeah. It's pretty heavy spell count too, so that's it for the monsters. Now moving on to the spells. For the Gravekeepers spells, we play 3 Necro Valley for obvious reasons, and 2 Gravekeeper Stealth. So, Necro Valley gives everything a boost and locks down the graveyard so your opponent can't do anything really. It's pretty funny. And you're running the 2 spells to cycle back your Gravekeepers, combos with Recruiter, combos with Commandant, just thin out your deck. That's pretty much the entire purpose of the Gravekeepers in this deck. So now moving on, you got the 5 Spellbook spell cards. You got 2 Spellbook of Secrets, 2 Spellbook of Power. Sorry, I'm going to move these down so I have more room. 2 Spellbook of the Master, 2 Spellbook of Wisdom, and 2 Spellbook Organization. Alright. So, I'm going to save this guy for last because I know you're all wondering why I'm running that. So first off, you got your Spellbook of Secrets. Just great searcher card. Combo's pretty hilarious with Spellbook of the Master. And yeah, no reason not to run it. I would put 3 in, but I feel like that would get cloggy. Not necessarily cloggy, I don't know, but it would definitely slow down the deck. I run 2 Spellbook of Power because again it searches, that's what this deck does. Pretty much all of these except Spellbook of Wisdom speed up the process of getting every one of these in your graveyard, which makes Reaper worthwhile. Then you got 2 Spellbook of the Master. A lot of times you end up pitching this with Summoner Monk, or Alchemic Magician if you happen to get it out. But still, even if you do get it out, you can target Secrets, then search again, or target Power if it's late game, and then you'll eventually search again, but yeah. Then you're running the 2 Spellbook of Wisdom, basically so you can protect your Visionary from Dimensional Prison, because that gets annoying. Now, Spellbook Organization, frankly, it's an underrated card. I mean, what it does is look at the top 3 cards of your deck, then return them to the top of the deck in any order. It's a quick play spell though. So basically, it serves as your 5th. I was playtesting Library of the Crescent, but it didn't really work when it wasn't pulled first turn. So I decided, you know what, I guess I'm running that. And it actually ended up doing a lot better than I thought. It's a very nice bluff to have. You can set it, and your opponent's going to want to MST it. Distracts them from the Necro Valley. That happens more often than you think. Like, you set 1 card and they freak out. So, yeah. Very, very helpful. And then you get to basically choose what you pull. This replaces Duality for me. Simply because if you activate it during your opponent's turn, it's just like, okay, I know exactly what I'm going to draw for the next 3 turns. So, it's very, very helpful. So that's it for the spellbooks. And you just got a couple generic spells. Got 2 Magical Dimension, 1 Dark Hole. Dark Hole I'm just running because it's Dark Hole. And Magical Dimension, it's really stupid. You tribute while you control a face-up spellcaster, tribute 1 monster, special summon the spellcaster from your hand, then destroy a monster. So you tribute Recruiter, you get a search. You can special summon Visionary, and you can special summon Reaper, and then you get to destroy something. Explosive card, it's fantastic. I wish I could run through, there's just not room for it. But yeah, that's it for the spells. Only running 2 traps, and they're both Rite of Spirit. Basically, this is just a normal trap called the Haunted for your Gravekeepers. But yeah, and it cannot be negated by Necro Valley. It has that clause in it. So basically, you get graveyard advantage, your opponent doesn't. And I'm fine with that. So you manage to get rid of your Visionary, you get to Rite of Spirit it, and funny combos. Or, you know, Recruiter while you have Descendant, or just a million different things you can do. So that's it for the main deck, and now going towards the extra deck. It's pretty flexible. I've just been running a bunch of rank 4s, like whatever you have, put in. I'm just going to go over a couple of them. I'm running at the moment 2 Master Key Beetles, simply because you can get it out pretty easily and it prevents your opponent from MSTing your Necro Valley. So, yeah, it's a good card. Next up, you got your Alchemic Magician, because again, it's fairly easy to get out in this deck, especially with Summoner Monk, and it really speeds up getting your 5 spellbooks engraved. Violon Disigma I'm running. I find it's really, really helpful. Just in general, it's a really good card. I would definitely consider running that. So, yeah. That's pretty much the deck. So tell me what you think. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh videos. This has been a hardcore deck profile from Hardcore Nerdiness, signing out.